It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern-day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, heading the clouds who wanna wake up to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the air. That's the reason I collect so many guns in my lair. I ain't never caught slipping, never underprepared. Yeah, they shade sign on me, they just spring it proudly. George Bush, the grandson of Alistair Crowley. They want you to believe a lot of the enemy Saudi. The enemy ain't Saudi, the enemy around me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry too much. The beard's not done growing. This isn't one of those kind of videos. This is actually a response to the great question that I've been receiving all over the place. Why John Connor? Why movies? Why do I speak like this? Why do I choose to allegorically speak when I'm on the internet? It's actually a very old technique. Anybody who knows anything about religion understands that that's how Jesus taught. If you read the Bible, if he's talking about sheep, it's because he's teaching shepherds. Okay? People go on about masonry being the work of the devil. Understand something simple. Jesus was a carpenter. If he taught carpenters, he would allegorically speak within carpentry. He wouldn't use sheep for these men. The guys wouldn't care about sheep. Come on now. Let's act real. Later in life, the Knights of the Templar, I can only assume, found a new moral stance within the religious scripture. They used the religious scripture to teach these other people what they thought, what they believed. If you understand Hollywood in any way, shape, or form, and understand that it's from the word holy wood, being what the wizards used to make their magic wands with. When you understand the symbolism in all the words and structures that we have throughout our world, you understand that the morals dictated through our movies, through our TV shows, through our mainstream media, through everything, is very similar to religious texts of old. You always see the battle of good and evil, regardless of what you choose to watch. What's really interesting is regardless of what you choose to read, you will get that battle. But you learn moral stances. Each character that you read is a different take of a person's life that chose to create that character. Therefore, that character acts and reacts in a way that the person wants them to do when they're writing the story. This is what's creating the morals that that story is holding. The John Connor morals, the Terminator story. Why Terminator? I could have used Lord of the Rings, I could have used Star Wars, I could have used a great many of other films. Great many. It wouldn't have mattered which one I picked. They would fit. It would work, I promise you. You go ahead and do it yourself, watch the films, and apply your Occupy mentality to the film, and you will see that it's written all over the place. All over the place. So it didn't matter which film I picked. I picked the film that I understood the most. John Connor being the leader of the worldwide resistance as what Skynet was afraid of. That's why they went back in time to kill him. The only other reason why I picked Terminator, the only piece of technology that I'm fully aware of that does not exist in Terminator is time travel. So if you're looking for someone's idea of just how bad this can go, Cameron gave us a good idea, a really good idea. The concept of when you see that he made the Titanic, and that's a strong idea as to how bad it could have been, when you understand that this artist, this creator, created Terminator, and that was his idea of just how bad it could get, you start to understand that the internet is Skynet. And the internet is going through something right now. The internet will be fine. There's nothing to worry about. But Skynet is becoming self-aware. Every time I post a video, you post a video, anybody posts a video, and anybody sees it, and it manipulates the way a person thinks about a situation as a whole. The whole network, the information we choose to put on this network, is very much self-aware. We're about to break barriers in which people don't understand completely. But that's what we're trying to do, is just become self-aware. Remove their ability to lie to us. That's all. That's all we're going to accomplish in this dispensation, in this lifetime, while I'm alive. The only thing that's ever going to happen, I plan to die when I'm 6 or 7 years old, so don't worry about that noise. But for as long as I'm alive, the only power that will be returned to the people that I understand is that they can't lie to us anymore. It doesn't matter what the news say, it doesn't matter what the paper says. We all have friends that have jobs, that have done things that they shouldn't have done in order for us to get the information that we have. And because of that, we've shared it so that those who do not have friends that have the kind of jobs that should have told their buddies, you're allowed to know. If I take a pin and I poke my finger, I promise you my blood is red. And one day I might just do it to prove a point. Okay? But I swear to you that this is what this is. Nothing about this is good. Nothing. Doesn't matter if you go local occupy. We all got decimated. Well, we all got decimated. Some of us are still standing. So we got that out of the way. The awareness campaign is well underway. The mobilization tactics are working like we think like we understand. But our mobilization tactics are working beautifully. We now have international occupy set up. The soldiers have allied themselves with particular, well, the veterans, I should say, have allied themselves with particular occupy groups in order to create areas of security, and this is how this works, and don't worry, we'll be back on the field soon enough. So don't worry too much about all of that. We're coming along slow but steady. Very slow and very steady. Because, not like I said before, not to be too 1%ish on the view here, but in this situation, with this much power locked into this situation as a whole, there can be no room, absolutely no room for error as to who is the aggressing party. Okay? Exactly like Pearl Harbor. When Pearl Harbor hit, they made sure that it looked exactly like Japan was the aggressor. When you understand the history, you understand that all we're doing is exactly what they've done. That's all. Can't kill our leader. You already killed him. JFK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Pac. For those who care, Michael Jackson. That his guy was already brought up on manslaughter charges and found guilty. And the list can go on regardless of the culture. You got John Lennon, regardless of the creed, regardless of the country. If they speak up, they're shot. So straight up, like, you want a leader from the Occupy group? You want us to put someone on the proverbial chopping block. I'm sorry. We put somebody on a cross 2,000 years ago because of this mentality, and it got us nowhere. So you get nobody to crucify. You get nothing. You get nothing from us. You get the raging, angry mob. That is what you get. You don't get a peaceful person sitting in an office in front of you that you could turn out and shoot and make him an offer that he couldn't refuse. No, that's not how this stuff works, you see. This is you listen and you obey like the government that you are, and you don't try and impose it on us. Because that noise doesn't work. There is more of us than there are of you. You can't build the jails fast enough, and guns run out of bullets. Okay? That's it. That's all. After a while, you will have nothing left but pissed off farmers with pitchforks and whatever else that we can get our hands on. We don't need weapons of mass destruction. We know where you live. We don't need that. Who needs a nuke? Nobody needs that. That's too much real estate. That's too much. Why would anybody on this whole planet nuke anything? Okay? They want the resources, ladies and gentlemen. They can't nuke you. If they nuke you, it is in their worst interest. It doesn't matter what country you're in. And it doesn't matter which country is doing the nuking. Understand your Canadian history, understand that we're still part of the Commonwealth, and understand that nobody touches us not because the Americans protect us. No. Nobody touches us because there's seven other countries that will come down on you in ways that people don't understand. That's the privilege of still being in a monarchy. In 1812, Madison was mad, and he tried to take Canada, and it didn't work. The Queen didn't allow it. We didn't allow it. But we never became arrogant and started hating Americans. No, those soldiers were doing what they were told to do. That's it. That's all. I have no desire to hate another culture. I have no desire to hate another country. I have no desire to hate another person. I do have an immense desire to hate ignorance. To hate that someone doesn't understand that in a, I don't even want to call it a third world country, but regardless of the label you want to give it, a developing nation, to come in and do what they do to these nations, to swindle them with their economic jackals in the way that they do. When you start looking into this stuff, it really blows your mind. So, why John Connor? Because if we're going to act like them, we may as well just give it to them. Okay? Plain and simple. If we're going to act like the machines, we may as well just give this to them. We don't need it if we're going to act like them. This is why there is no leader. This is why there's only a consciousness grid of available information so that you can make your own choice. Nobody will stand with a weapon. There's no need for it. Because when two people, when someone's robbing a store and the person that's getting robbed is giving them the money with a smile on his face, for he understands the situation, no weapon is needed. A change in the way we conduct our daily lives is needed. That is greater than what any war can give us. That is what peace, freedom, and liberty gives you. Regardless of the war, regardless of the country at fault, regardless of the country that's winning or losing. If it all just stopped right now, what would happen to all of us? How would the citizens of the United States, how would the citizens in Canada, how would the citizens in Mexico handle the fact that we stopped all the fighting? How would we deal with that? And on the flip side of the same coin, on the other side of the ocean, how will they deal with us no longer fighting? Well, on October 15, 2011, over 1,060 cities in over 80 countries got together and said, we're okay with that. If everybody stopped shooting, we would all sit down and we'd try and figure it out before anybody clocked in one more hour. That was all that was important. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying